Hi, I'm Marsh from StrataGames, and today we have another deck donation. This is Dimir Snacker Pestilence by Shinxa. They brewed up this list, which is a Dimir Pestilence list, but we are trying to keep Pestilence around, not through Cauldron Familiar, which has become the main staple way to do it recently, but through Sneaky Snacker, which we can recur even if it dies, and also through Indestructible Creatures, with Kenku Artificer, putting these counters on either a Mistvault Bridge or a Nutrient Block, which are both indestructible. These are the main ways to keep the Pestilence around. We are also playing a couple hard evidence as ways to have decent blockers in the early game that also can survive the Pestilence in the late game. Then we have just a bunch of control pieces and removal here, counter spells, cast downs, a couple defiles, playing Fanatical Offering, Campfire to gain some life, now Spellbomb to clear graveyards. Offering and Brainstorm and Lorien Revealed are our main ways to draw 3 cards to get our snackers back to the battlefield. We have a 1-of Troll of Khazad-dûm, and then many Contaminated Aquifers, Mistvault Bridges, some Swamps, Islands, and Pachuca Bogs. And sideboard looks pretty standard over here. They did say they were okay with me changing a couple of the cards to maybe improve some of the deck's themes and things like that. This is the list they gave me, and I have a couple things that I want to change, first of all, that I figured I'd just walk through on camera so that it can help anybody else trying to brew decks. The main thing is that Brainstorm is, of course, an instant speed way that can draw you all 3 cards to get Snacker back really strong. But we also want to be able to have ways to shuffle away the cards that we put back on the Brainstorm. We currently only have the Lorien Revealed and the Troll, 5 ways to shuffle, which is just not quite as many as I'd like. I'd like closer to 8. I'm not sure we'll get that fully. The easiest way to add ways to shuffle is a couple fetch lands here. Now, of course, we're only a 2-color deck, so we're not going to be able to cycle these, but these landscapes have shown that they're powerful enough even if you can't cycle them. So I think we're going to try putting a couple of these in here. Now, the hard thing about our mana base is that we are a Pestilence deck. We want to have as much black mana as possible, but we're also playing counter spells, so we need to have double blue up very often. So at first I thought, this is way too many tap lands, and I think that is still maybe kind of true, but we also do really need to get that blue and that black mana to make our deck work. For this reason, I think I would want to cut a Pachuca Bog. I think 1 is fine, although without a Dimir Aqueduct or anything to bounce it, it's not as impactful. Still a very good card, but I think we can cut 1 of them because we just need to have some lands that enter untapped. And with the landscapes trying to fit in, I think this makes the most sense. I think we will cut a Swamp here. Part of me wants to only have 1 island in the deck, but again, we are running counter spell, so if we only have 1 island, and we've already fetched it out and want to fetch another, that could just be a little tough. We also don't have to be running this exact number of lands. 18 lands plus 5 cyclers is a good amount, but this is always a very mana-hungry deck, any Pestilence control shell like this. So I think this is probably a fine number of cards here. The other things that I wanted to look at was Hard Evidence feels a little out of place, especially as just like a 2-of. Defile, I'm not sure this is the best removal we could be playing, as a fair number of our lands, about half of them, are not swamps. And only 3 Fanatical Offerings just seems a little weird. Now, it's hard to fit everything in here because I wouldn't mind some Ichor Wellsprings, of course, combos with the Fanatical Offering, but the reason we're playing the Nutrient Blocks is so that we can get Indestructible, which I think is pretty important for our Pestilence plan. Campfire and Spellbomb, I think, are pretty important. And I do think we should have a couple more removal spells, but these are kind of the 4 cards I'm thinking about changing. I mentioned Ichor Wellspring, but the other thing is with blue, we could be playing Cryogen Relic. We don't have any ways to flicker it or bounce it or anything, but just sacrificing it's pretty strong. Not sure we'll be able to fit all of that in, but I think for now, Go for the Throat has been my preferred additional copies of Cast Down. Defile obviously is 1 mana, so that makes a big difference, but I think we talked about Defile in the interview I did with True Name Nemesis for Golgari Food Pestilence, and it doesn't even make the cut in that deck, which is running a few more swamps than even we are. And Tragic Slip is another good card in that deck, but without Cauldron Familiar, we're not making things die quite as often, especially since a lot of our card draw is not sacrificing artifacts and things like that. So I think I want to try a couple Go for the Throats. Maybe we'll do 1 Go for the Throat, 1 Defile, and just kind of see how they play. And I do think I want to get this 4th Fanatical Offering in here. The other thing is this changes a lot of the deck, so I'm not going to do it now. But if you wanted to play Hard Evidence as Sneaky Snacker and we fit Cryogen Relic in here, you could also put Abjure in the deck, which allows you to sacrifice a blue permanent to counter a spell for just a single blue mana. But again, we would need to change 8 or more cards. I don't think that's quite what I want to do. So I guess maybe we'll leave this 1 Hard Evidence. It's a little bit weirder having just 1 of it, but we'll still have it around to see if we like it. And if we don't, then we don't have to draw it quite as often. So those are just the first few little changes I wanted to make before even taking this for a league. For all we know, some of those changes won't be great. Sometimes you have to test things out and then you just revert back to what you were doing before, and that's totally okay. But I think Fanatical Offering is just too good. We want to have a 4th one in here, and I think Go for the Throat is probably going to show that it can be a little more powerful than Defile, depending on our matchups. So Anyway, let's take this for League and see how we do. Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video. I've written a comprehensive guide on how to play White Weenie in Pauper, including my ideal stock list, over 30 sideboard matchups, and a sideboard cheat sheet, which gives you a very easy snapshot view and what to sideboard for every single matchup. I also have guides for Black Sack and Esper Affinity. Each guide is only $15, and if you buy one, you will get all future updates that I ever make to that guide for free. I also offer coaching, so if you're interested in upping your Pauper game for any of the decks that I'm very proficient in, or if you're interested in having me play your deck in a future video, you can do a deck donation, which is the only way you'll ever see me playing Cycle Storm or Flickertron. Alright, here we have a hand with a counter spell, although not on turn 2, because we have all these tapped lands, essentially. Fanatical Offering that can't sacrifice anything. I mean, we'll give it a try. We just have a lot of lands, which is decent, although against red might not be good enough. Play a bridge. Against red, Defile would probably be better than Go for the Throat, I'll admit that. Although if we get islands with these and only have 1 or 2 swamps, then this could maybe kill a Gutter Snipe better, or a Kessig Flame Breather even. They'll swing for 1 and just pass. That's a good sign. I mean, they could still have Fiery Temper here, but it's not bad. I can't have up Counterspell. I could leave up like Go for the Throat. That doesn't seem like it's going to be important. So I probably just cycle this for a blue-black and play it now. Give us the best mana for next turn. They do have the Flame Breather, so Go for the Throat might be decent here, although I might want to hold up Counterspell. We have a Snacker. I could just Go for the Throat, but I think I want to hold up Counterspell, which means I might take a hit here. But there was no Fiery Temper before. There was no Lightning Bolt just now. Grab the prize, discarding a Lava Dart. We're going to counter that. Take 1, and we'll cycle Lorien for an island, untapped here. Would love a Counterspell, but we didn't get it. I'm just going to Go for the Throat, the Flame Breather. They have a Lava Dart in response. They want to flash them back? No. We're going to play a Snacker, and we have ways to get it back. They might just, like, dart this. That's fine, though. Grab the prize with the Fiery Temper, so we're down to 7. I mean, Nutrient Blocks can gain us life if we draw some of those. Campfires, of course, would be great. They're going to attack. I'm certainly going to block. We might just sacrifice a land here if we have nothing else. We'll get this back and hopefully find a campfire or something. Another Snacker. Yeah, we're still just going to do this. Counterspell is okay, I guess. Double Lava Dart in the grave. Pretty close to dead here. Flame Breather. I think we got a counter. Faithless Looting. Discards Lightning Bolt. Robbery. Feel like we're very close to dead. They Lava Dart us. We get an Aquifer. We'll swing for 2 and then I can Offering the Snacker. It'll come right back. See if we get a counterspell or some life gain. No, just all cast downs and card draw. Well, I might as well just play a Snacker. Hope for the best. Grab the prize, discarding an Epicure. See, a counterspell would have been great for that. Guess we already saw 2. There's a Fire Blast. Yeah, we could have used a Campfire, a Nutrient Block. I guess those are the main ones we were looking for. Alright, we got 4 Hydros, 2 Duress, Fairy Macabres, I guess. Probably don't need Kenku or Pestilence as much. This is one where we just kind of need to survive. Alright. Early Bojuka Bog is decent. Defile's okay, although only 1 right now. I don't think we're going to throw this away. Play a Mountain and an Epicure. We get a Duress. I could just Duress and then Bojuka Bog. I could Brainstorm to try to find a land that's not Bog, so we could save it for later. If they only have 1 draw 2, I'd like to try to snipe that, though. I feel like they usually have, yep, a million. I'll take a Robbery. They're going to get back a Snacker. Swing for 1. They draw 2. We get a Swamp. So I can play Snacker and I have up Defile. It's probably all I can do. I don't have blue for this counterspell, which is probably fine. Searing Blaze the Snacker. Can't do anything about that. If I Defile the Snacker, it comes right back with the Looting, so maybe I should just kill the Epicure here. We will. Lorien Revealed can find an island for Counterspell, or I could just Brainstorm first, and then shuffle with the Lorien. Counterspell is pretty important if they're potentially going to find like a Pinger or something. Yeah, I should probably play it safe. But if I don't need it, I can still Brainstorm in the end step, bring back the Snacker. Swing for 2. They're going to pass. Let's go for the Brainstorm. They Pyroblast it. That's fine. Cast down. I don't even have an artifact land for this Offering. Faithless before attacking. That's interesting. Discards 2 Lava Darts. Epicure. Gonna cast down the Snacker. Since they made it so it doesn't even come back this turn. Pretty okay with that. Pull out a Robbery. Now we get a Mistvault Bridge, which I guess I'll sacrifice right away to get back our Snacker. Pass. We know they have a Fire Blast in hand at 2 Lava Darts. They swing for 1, so they have 6 damage. Flame Breather. Well, I have to counter that. I guess if I don't counter that, they Fire Blast us. Lava Dart, we take 5. Highway Robbery, we take 6. We have to counter the Fire Blast, and then they, I don't know. If I counter this, then they Highway Robbery. If they find 1 Lightning Bolt, we'll die. I guess that's still the case, even if I don't counter it. Alright. Don't know how we get out of this. We didn't see a single Hydro Blast, so that didn't help. There's the Robbery. And they don't find a Lightning Bolt, I guess. So I can just play and crack a Nutrient Block, I suppose. I think that's probably the best way to survive. Try to put a counter here so that it can block. If they want to dart it, then that's a life we save. Lorien revealed. I mean, I'm about to shuffle with the Lorien in our hand, so I probably should have done this first. So it doesn't matter if it's on top unless I want it in our deck, which I guess I don't, because what are the chances I can play it and resolve it? Very low. Play a Nutrient Block, crack it right away. Go up to 12. We know they have 6 damage. We have a Snacker that can block, plus a Cast Down. I mean, we're in an okay spot, maybe. Maybe we can stabilize. They discard a Snacker to a blood token. Flashback Faithless Looting. Again, before attacks is weird. Could have swung, and if I blocked, they get this other guy back. Discard another Lava Dart. They swing with both. I feel like I blocked the Epic here. If they want to trade a Lava Dart for it, that's fine. We take 2. There's 3 Lava Darts plus this. I mean, if they have a Bolt, that's still lethal, but we've been on that for a while. No, they sack a Dart to kill the Snacker. Another Nutrient Block, which I want to sack to the Offering, but I also want to get the life gain. It's the only thing we can sacrifice to Offering. I'm going to cast one of these down, probably. I think we go for the life gain and hope that we can draw something else for the Offering in a bit. Counterspell's decent. So here, I think we gotta take it, and then I can cast down at the end step if I don't counterspell. Of course, that gives them a window to kill us, but we don't have enough mana to be wasting it, I don't think. So let's go for it. Untap, we get a Lorien. I can get back my Snacker. I'm not holding up counterspell. Best case scenario, I draw an Island and a Hydroblast. If I'm fully tapped out, though, Lava Dart, Fire Blast, 2 from the Snacker. I die to anything. But if I don't interact here, if I don't do anything here, I take 2 from the Snacker, and I'm pretty much dead next turn anyway. So I think I should. I mean, hopefully they don't have a Pyro, but we're in a pretty precarious spot no matter what. Well, we got a Fairy Macabre. I guess I can exile a couple Lava Darts now, and if they want to use them, they have to sack some mountains. I don't think I care about the Snacker. I think that's my best play. Yeah, they let him go. So we gained 2 life, essentially. But they have a Gutter Snipe, so it probably won't matter. Swing for 3, or 2, I mean. They discard another Gutter Snipe with a blood token. Fire Blast puts us to 1. They don't have another Fire Blast. I feel like I should sack this landscape in case I can draw another counter spell. So we have quad blue, even though it doesn't allow us to shuffle away for a Brainstorm. Oh, we only have 2 islands, right. Well, we got the Hydroblast. Okay, so I'm going to kill the Gutter Snipe. We have a counter spell for the first thing. I can block here and sack. And we hope they don't find their last Lava Dart, because I can't do anything about that. Or anything else. I guess by sacrificing this, I let this live. But I need a draw, I think. Like, I could trade here, and then I counter a way to get it back. But they also have another Snacker. If they bring them back anyway, I don't know. I think I need to draw. There's some life gain if I can survive. So I think I only counter something that kills us. Well, Grab the Prize kills us and is very good. So like if they did a Highway Robbery, I probably wouldn't have countered that. I mean, maybe we can survive here. I can Campfire. I can play a Nutrient Block, although I can't use that and counterspell. So let's Brainstorm first. Get back our Snacker. We get a Hydroblast and a land drop. So put back. I want to play the land. I kind of want to cast this down and have up Hydroblast. So I think I put these 2 back. So we don't die to a Lava Dart anymore. We don't die to a Bolt or anything with the Hydro, because we're going to cast this down. We have a counterspell for anything they have. Then I get to draw my... Yep, they're going to go for a Bolt. Counter that. We might just stabilize, because I get to Nutrient Block, draw a card, gain a life, gain 3 life, which draws our counterspell. We have a Campfire. I might as well map onto this to try to make our clock faster. Brainstorm, we'll leave that on top. See, I just needed a Campfire this whole time. Now we're pretty stable. Well, until they get something that I have to counter, and then I might not be stable after that. But like a Faithless Looting would be really bad. They concede. Oh my gosh, we got there. Like, Faithless Looting would suck, because I'd have to counter it because they have 3 Snackers coming back, but then they still can flash back next turn. That was crazy. I did not think we were going to take control of that game. Let's try to do it one more time. Try to keep ahead with a campfire, ideally. One swamp is not going to cut it. Hand is medium, otherwise this is not going to work. Okay, well, I thought maybe we'd have a chance, and now this is looking not very good. I'm going to put back Cast Down Fanatical. That sucked. We're going to play a Spell Bomb because I can't deal with a Snacker otherwise. Not very well. Anyway, they're going to Robbery, discard a Snacker, force me to use the Spell Bomb when I don't get to draw. Like a jerk. Like, it's still pretty good for them because I just used a whole card to deal with basically not a card from them. Well, I was thinking about getting Contaminated Aquifer maybe, but Hydroblast definitely makes me want to get a blue, counter a draw spell here. I kind of want to let this go because I can just cast it down, although I need mana to be able to make that happen. I think for that reason we're going to Brainstorm at the end step, try to find another land. Double Snacker. Double Snacker's not very good. I mean, we're going to have to draw one of these back, but I think then we shuffle with the landscape. Well, I might shuffle at the upkeep because I'm going to cast this down. Yeah, so we'll shuffle at our next upkeep, not this one. Because I'm just going to play this, cast this down. They got a bolt, and we'll pass. And now we would Hydro whatever. They don't have anything, though. So let's Brainstorm again, and I'll shuffle in the upkeep. Ooh, I might shuffle with a Lorien. Pestilence is not good right now, so we're actually getting rid of that and another Snacker. And cycle for, I guess, just an island so I can play the Snacker. They just play a mountain, so I assume they're just holding some burn spells. They Fiery Temper the Snacker. I'm very okay with that. More so if I get a way to bring it back, like a Brainstorm, but for now, they're not doing anything, and using burn spells on our creatures is great. Just playing lands. They can hardcast a Fire Blast if they want to. I'm going to keep the landscape for if I find a Brainstorm. We got 2 left. Yeah, they just have a lot of lands. We do find a Brainstorm. Let's use that. Get back our Snacker. Graveyard isn't relevant, but I do want to hit a land drop. Campfire is great. I think I put back these 2, and I don't have to shuffle if I don't want to, but we might. Bog them, play a Campfire. They could have Artifact Destruction, but I guess we have a Hydroblast. They do, Smash to Smithereens. Do I want to Hydro that? I mean, it's pretty good, and I already have a... It's pretty good to keep the Campfire, and I already have a Cast Down for a Gutter Snipe, so I think we're going to counter it. If they have a Pyroblast, then so be it. But they did not. They are going to hard cast a Fire Blast. That's hilarious. I will take it. I'm going to shuffle because I don't want to draw a Cast Down or a Pestilence. I think I'd rather find like a Lorien Revealed or something now. Get some card advantage going. Fanatical Offering on a Snacker would work too. Ooh, we get a Kenku. Our only artifact is the Campfire though, which they already want to kill, and then we stop gaining life from it. So that's not my favorite draw. This is why we only kept 1 in, but we'll keep that for later. I mean, it is up to 1 target artifact, but I'm not going to play a 3-mana 1/1, I don't think. They play a mountain. We get a swamp. Swing for 2. Campfire again. Opponent telling us how lucky we are, or rather how unlucky they are. I could, well, I mean, I'm playing Spell Bomb. I could hold it for like a Snacker. I could just Kenku it and start attacking, and if they ever blow it up, I still can draw a card. I think we probably want to just go aggressive now, actually. Does this give it haste? I don't think so. So actually this is, yeah, I can't attack this turn. Oops. That's okay. This does speed it up, so we have like a 3-turn clock-ish. So that'll help. Fiery Temper the Spell Bomb. Alright, that's fine. Like I said, I still get to draw a card off of it. We get a counter spell, which is great. Let's Campfire. We still increased our clock a little bit. Oh, let's play another Campfire. Perfect. Swing for 3. Go up to 24. And I think we got this one in the bag. Definitely a little bit of luck for us, but that's okay. Flame Breather I can cast down. Hydroblast is great. And pass to them. They got a Gutter Snipe. We'll counterspell. Campfire. Mistvault Bridge. Swing for 3. Faithless Looting. I think that's fine. They don't get back any Snackers. Now they have a Snacker, but Epicure, I'm not going to counter that. Gain some more life. Up to 31. Counterspell. Swing, and they're going to trade. They're going to Highway Robbery. Let's counter that. Flashback Looting. I think we countered that because it would give them back Snacker, which could block our Snacker before it could deal lethal damage. Discard a mountain to their blood token. And they got a Pyroblast for our Snacker. Fair enough. I guess we'll drag this game out more. I'm not sure how they can kill us from 35. I don't anticipate we're going to time out with 10 minutes on clock. But I would love a Lorien or something to speed this up a little bit. Duress, perfect timing. I mean, I guess if they find Smash to Smithereens or something for the campfires, can stop us from gaining life, then eventually they can maybe get there. Seems tough, though. Very Macabre. I think I'm going to Duress them. They might have gotten like a grab the prize or something, or just a bolt they're holding. Pyroblast, perfect. And then I'm going to cast Fairy Macabre because it is a 2-turn clock, and I don't care too much about their snacker in the grave. All right, they finally conceded. That was a crazy match. We lost pretty badly game 1. We almost lost pretty badly game 2, but we were able to retake the game. And then this one was a little more decisive. All right, here we have turn 1 nutrient block, and then I could sack it right away if I want, which is acceptable. I'd prefer not to if I can get like a snacker or something down instead. But currently that would mean sacrificing my landscape. So if I get a natural island or something, because I'd like to hold the block for like a Kenku if we can, depending on what we're up against. Start with the block and pass. We're against some sort of Tron deck. Brainstorm. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna offering here. I mean, by offering and not correcting the landscape, we don't definitively have blue mana, but we have a much greater chance to actually hit our land drops. So I think we must do that. They, of course, have Tron on turn 3. We do get an island and another. I could just play Kenku Artificer, although if this is like a Monster Tron, having an Indestructible artifact would be so much better. Also, if it's Monster Tron, go for the throat, it's going to be really bad. I can't have Counterspell up here. I could also just Brainstorm, crack the landscape, or I could just play a Snacker. A few different choices. I think we should get down Snacker. Although part of me wants to crack the landscape while I have the mana here, but then I'm not using the Brainstorm, which we'll see what they do, because if it is Monstertron, I would very much like to Brainstorm away this Go for the Throat. I mean, I guess maybe you could hit like a Brambleworm or something, but most of their stuff is artifacts. Pinnacle Killship, yeah. It kills a Snacker, not a big deal, but I guess we'll save this. And then just hold up Counterspell here for whatever they play, although if it's a Maelstrom Colossus, they could cascade into something else. I can only counter one of them, which it is. Unfathomable Truths to draw 3. I feel like I have to run them out of gas, but this is also, I can't kill this. And then accrues the Pinnacle Killship. I don't know. Already this feels so bad. I'm going to counter the Colossus, though, because I just don't have an answer to it currently. Although, if we find a Mistvault Bridge for Kenku, I guess that could be our answer. Just having an Indestructible, or a Nutrient Block, Indestructible guy. Expedition map, barrels of blasting jelly, mana fixes and can destroy a creature later. We get a cast down, that's decent. As a way to actually kill some of this stuff. But our goal with the kill ship is to just never let it become stationed. Rooftop Percher. Exile up to 2 target cards from graveyards, you gain 3 life. So that exiles our snacker unless I want to Brainstorm, which I could, but then I let them resolve something else, although they only have 5 mana. Maybe 6 with the Expedition, so they can't cast a 7-drop. So I think that's actually fine. And we'll just Brainstorm to get the snacker back. Swamp, another snacker. This could get Go for the Throated, so I might actually not hate that. I kind of want to hardcast a Lorien. Yeah, nothing here is terrible enough that I need to get rid of it. And if we want to hardcast Lorien, although if I want to shuffle landscape for blue, so I can hardcast the Lorien and hold a counterspell. I can't do that next turn anyway, so yeah, it's fine. Let's just put back. Currently, Kenku doesn't look great, and I think I want to use the Go for the Throat. Put back the Snacker. Alright, this comes back. They are going to station. Oh, I could have went for the Throat. This is a sorcery to station. So I could have gone for the Throat on this before their ability resolved. That would have allowed me to stop them. Oh, they have a land drop. So they have a 7. They have a guy here. That's annoying. Whatever. Boulder Branch. They're not going to station with it. That was probably a mistake, but it allows me to cast this down, and then I can go for the Throat. We're drawing a snacker here. That's fine, because I can snacker, go for the Throat, hold up Counterspell, attack for 2. We have a Kenku on top. They have another Boulder Branch Golem. I don't think this is what I would care to counter. I know it crews the kill ship, which is not great. I don't know. It just feels like I don't care about the life, and it's not as scary as something with like Trample or something. I don't know. Crack the Expedition map for a Haunted Fengraf, which can bring back a creature from their graveyard. We'll definitely just chump here. They have a world map, more lands and stuff. Alright, well, we'll draw Kenku. Still don't want to use it, though. I think I gotta cast a Lorien and hope to draw an untapped island. I don't have any untapped islands left in my deck. So if I Lorien, I know I'm not going to have a counterspell up. But what else are we doing? I don't want a Kenku here just for like a 3/3 that dies once. Lorien at least gets back our Snacker. Yep, there's Mistvault Bridge. So if they don't resolve anything crazy here, the next turn I can get an Indestructible guy and hold up Counterspell. They crack Haunted Fengraf, get back Rooftop Percher. That's way better than them getting back the Colossus. Moderately better than them getting back Boulder Branch. I guess it kills our Snacker. Or it exiles our Snacker, which is pretty bad. And I think I have to block. But that's fine. They can exile one Snacker. They can't get both or anything. Unless they have a way to kill this. Which they could, actually. Barrels of Jelly. But they would need another land drop. Alright, they're just going to play it. Snacker's gone. Unfortunately, we don't have a Brainstorm. Another world map. I think I want to keep the Lorien. Alright, Kenku on the bridge. I could map onto the bridge, make it slightly bigger. It doesn't really make a difference currently. But I don't care to shuffle, so might as well. Map onto this, we got a Spell Bomb on top. It's moderately helpful. What am I doing next turn? I can play this bridge, so next turn I can Lorien plus Counterspell. So Spell Bomb might be okay to have at some point. Alright, let's pass. We might be able to stabilize. If they have no way to get through the bridge, then I just have a blocker permanently, which is good. They get to crack a world map, see if they have any other utility lands. Another Fengraf, yeah, but they're going to be able to use that before my Spellbomb comes down, which they just crack it right away. Get back Colossus, definitely worse than the Boulder Branch Golem. They can cast that. They're going to swing with the team. I guess this did change things a little bit, because I can double block here to kill the Boulder Branch and jump here. They can blow up their barrels to kill this and not lose this, but that's totally fine if they want to spend it doing that. They have Utter Insignificance. It loses all abilities and is base power toughness 1/1, which actually makes it grow. Oh, but they can also exile Enchanted Creature. Well, we're going to counter that for sure. Hope they don't have another one or a counterspell of their own. That is good to keep in mind. I guess they are blue Monstertron, and this is pretty standard in this deck, but I really need them to not exile our Mistfall Bridge for us to have a chance. They have something. Another one? Come on. Utter Insignificance. I mean, I have a second Mistfall Bridge, so I just need to find another Kenku, I guess. That's really annoying. Now I lose my board. Pretty much dead next turn. And I know I'm drawing a Spell Bomb, which is not what I want. If I go for a Lorien, even if I draw Kenku, it's not going to be good enough. I get back Snacker, but one blocker doesn't even matter because they can kill one blocker. So I have to, like, Spell Bomb for a Mistfall Bridge, I think. Or for a Kenku. What else could I get? Cast down. Kill this. I survive. I've only used one cast down. Okay, I guess for that reason I just go for the draw 3. Campfire doesn't work, and we're gonna die. Just wish they didn't have that under insignificance. We get a null, extract, duress, negate maybe? Maybe not. Go for the throat seems mostly bad, but defile also seems mostly bad here, so I'm not sure this is a match where either of these are good. Campfire is okay, Spellbomb's okay. Kenku we definitely want. I just need to make sure that Utter Insignificance doesn't resolve. Pestilence, really hard for us to be able to blow up their stuff. So maybe we cut one of those. Maybe we don't need both Campfires. Hard Evidence is a blocker. I guess that's decent. Alright, this hand has some lands. Nutrient Block with Kenku. Counterspells. I mean, it seems decent. Although if Nutrient Block gets exiled by an Utter Insignificance, that's pretty rough, because we also just don't get the card. They mulligan to 5, so that helps us a little bit. Mulligan to 4, rough. Alright, they keep their 4-card hand. We'll see what they got. Nothing on 1. I mean, I could just play the Nutrition Block and then Kenku it next turn, just to, like, aggro them. I guess I will do that. Maybe I should just hold up counterspells, but it feels like they're not going to have a lot going on, and I should just try to end the game quickly. Mistfall Bridge. Well, we're just going to Kenku. If they got Utter Insignificance, you know, well, it really just grows the Nutrient Block for now until they can have the mana to exile it, so that'd be fine. They have an Urza's Mine, and we get another Kenku. We'll play the bridge so we can do that next turn, but let's just swing for now. Haunted Fengraf. They play a Candy Trail. I mean, I'm not going to counter a Candy Trail, am I? I don't think so. If it was like their only card in hand, then sure. But I'm not going to counter that just for them to play like an Expedition map or something. They crack it, and they play another Candy Trail. Well, that is annoying, because it does gain them life and makes it so that they can survive a little longer. Scry one to the top. We get a Duress, but I think I want to Kenku this, hold up Counterspell though, and the next turn we can duress with double counterspell. Play a Lorien Revealed. Let's counter that. Duress them. Take a Pinnacle Kill Ship. All they have is a Crab. We'll hit for 8. Pass the turn. They have Unfathomable Truths. I'll just counter that. Surprise, we won when they mulled to 4. Alright, let's see if we can win a game where we don't mulligan that low. Neither one of us, that is. Ideally. Our hand is medium. We do have Kenku with Bridge, but it's our only blue source, and if we put it on that and then they kill it, it's actually really bad. But I do have Snacker into Kenku into Extract. We'll keep it. I'm not in love with it, though. They mulligan to 5 again, though, so I guess we are not, in fact, going to have a game where they don't mulligan super low. They mulliganed down to 4 yet again, so pretty brutal. I mean, our hand is not exceptional, but it doesn't necessarily take an exceptional hand to beat a mull to 4. They have 2 world maps, too, which cost 3 mana to crack, so if they don't have a third land, they just won't be able to cast those, or crack those. If they do have a third land, then they can get their, you know, pretty close to Tron online, so that'd be decent. Expedition map now is pretty awkward. We'll swing. I kind of don't want a Kenku because it's damage, but then it's our only blue, which I might want to use to like brainstorm or something. But if I hard evidence, all I have to do is crack the clue, which means I can't buff that up. I mean, I think I hard evidence and I just pass and I crack clue. Hopefully we find more land or more artifacts or something. I mean, we're not under a tremendous amount of pressure, but they are going to be able to find Tron through this and then at some point maybe start landing things. We'll crack the clue though. Okay, I can Fanatical the Snacker and it comes right back. And we find another land, which is good. I could map token onto like Snacker or something. I think we'll wait. We might actually want to put the counters on the map here if I want to keep my bridge intact. So they're going to crack that for a power plant. I'm going to brainstorm, just keep trying to hit those lands. Put back 2 extracts, but I'm not going to shuffle them away. And yeah, I think we are going to Kenku because I can hold up Counterspell here and a Null. So we're going to once again just try to be aggressive. And they can crack this and have 5 mana off of their Tron. Or 4 mana with a blue since they did it this way. We'll attack for 6. And just hold up a Null and Counterspell, I think. I could brainstorm and maybe hit an untapped blue, but I only have 1 left, so that seems unlikely. So I'd rather just hold up double counter. They have a Rooftop Percher, which we will counter because it gains life. And I feel like anything else they have I could probably counter. They Mirror Shell Crab it. We'll pay. And we'll swing for lethal. So that first game was good, although we lost. But unfortunately, the second 2 games were both not great in our favor. So we do end up winning, but it doesn't really feel great. All right, we have 2 lands with the Lorien here. Then some pretty decent cards. We're on the play. We'll keep it. 2 lands is definitely a low amount for this deck. I would love to start, I think, every hand with 3. But since we have some card draw to help find the next lands, I think it's okay. I will say the Fanatical Offerings are not doing as well as I had hoped. Maybe we just don't have quite as many artifacts and things like that as I thought. So part of me wants to put in some Vaults of Whispers or something to have just some more things to sacrifice. If we don't have a reason for basic swamps specifically, which we do with Defile, but if we cut the Defile and don't have a reason for swamps specifically, it might be fine. I mean, we can still have some swamps, obviously, for like the Troll, which we haven't seen at all, but yeah. Alright, we're against Rally, it looks like. Cycle this. Do I want to Brainstorm right away? Helps me hit my land drop. Or do I just want to Aquifer? I think I want to hit the land drop. Like, I think I want to Brainstorm here to hopefully hit our land drop and then also be able to hold up like Counterspell and stuff next turn. There's Burning Tree into Tomb Raider. Alright, let's Brainstorm. We do get a Lorien. I don't need or want Pestilence or Cast Down. So I probably want to do this in our upkeep. And then I'm going to Hard Evidence as a blocker. That's not great. Ugh. I have to cycle the Lorien at some point, which means I might as well do it in the upkeep because I don't like what I'm getting there. But I wish I could Hard Evidence plus Snacker or Counterspell or something. Campfire is decent. I could hard Evidence plus play Campfire, and the next turn I can activate Campfire plus do something else. That means I'm not activating Campfire this turn, but I'm gaining 2 life by having a blocker, which I think is probably better. Yeah, I think that pushes me over the edge. Otherwise, I might have just played Snacker to like trade with one of these guys, but I think getting the Campfire that I really want to get online makes this better. They have a Bushwhacker, so I can't block one of these without this dying, so I'll block here and I'll take 8, which is a lot. Give me a land. No, that's not it. So I can activate Campfire, and I could play Snacker, or I could have a Counterspell up. Probably play Snacker, because their damage is coming from the board, and they don't have to play anything for me to counterspell. Yeah, it's going to be tight. I feel like we're going to die, but maybe we could survive if they have an awkward rest of their hand. We're Ren's Resolve, Mountain, and they have a Rally next turn. Probably have like a Bolt for Snacker or something. Oh, Bolt for the Hard Evidence. Crab, okay. I'll block the Burning Tree. Cast down. So I could counter the Rally and activate Campfire. That means we're going down by 2. Or I could just play Kenku, make a clue into a 3/3. Then I have a block, Rally. I take 3 plus they might have a Bolt. But I think that's the chance I gotta take. And by chance I gotta take, I mean my best chance at winning. But I think we're gonna probably not win. Game 1 is just so tough for a deck like this to do well against Rally. Rally's super fast, and we have better counter spells, and Dragonsaurus in the sideboard would still be great, but game 1 it's like we have cast down, and paying 2 mana to kill like a soldier is like terrible. Yeah, they bolt that. I mean, they could have just bolted us and we would have died, so I assume they have something for 1 damage here. No? I mean, we're still gonna die. Campfire, I go up to 3, cast this down, and I die. I think Campfire, I go up to 3, Fanatical Offering this, and then I draw something relevant. No, I did not. Well, Drowns, Hydroblasts, get rid of Cast Down, and go for the Throat. This is definitely where Defile is better. It's still not the best thing ever, but like 1-drop removal I can at least stomach. Guess maybe Duress and Negate are okay. I guess everything here is fine. Yeah, Duress is, maybe just 1 Duress is fine. Pestilence and Kenku aren't like amazing. Pestilence, of course, is good because it can wipe the board, but it like deals less damage, which isn't great. Kenku's really expensive, but it is 2 blockers. All right, we have Hydroblast, Nutrient Block, Snacker. This is good. I think we start with the Bridge, though, because I need to get that down. And their 1-drop shouldn't be that scary. I mean, the worst would be like a Tomb Raider with a Great Furnace. Percussionist is medium. Now, oh, Campfire. I probably play Campfire and hold up Hydroblast. Yeah, I think so. I'll counter basically any 2-drop they play here, I think. I mean, Ren's Resolve is not one that directly deals us damage right now, and I could Campfire instead, but I think this is still probably better. We got a cycle Lorien for an island. This way I have Counterspell, or I could Campfire. Another Ren's Resolve? I mean, that means they don't have much, like, damage going. They Pyroblast it. They got a Pyroblast and a Bushwhacker. Okay. So I was going to play a Snacker. I probably don't play a Snacker because then they just get a free Pyroblast. Whereas here I can just like play a Nutrient Block, Campfire, and their Pyro is wasted. A Bushwhacker. Cracking the Nutrient Block is more mana efficient here, but it's more life efficient to to use the Campfire. So I think we're going to do that. And then they have another Ren's Resolve. Come on. 2 Mountains. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, so they kept a hand of all, like, card draw, and we've mostly neutralized it. Here we get to play a Snacker, crack Nutrient, and Campfire. They have a Tomb Raider and a Bushwhacker. So 6 damage is going to get through, but I can offset 5 of that here. Nutrient Block. Another Nutrient Block. Perfect. So trade, we're at 14 still, and I can play a Snacker, play a Nutrient Block, Aquifer, and I guess we'll hope they don't have a Relic or something here, but we're going to block. They do have a Relic. Good for them. I could put their Snackers back into our into our deck by cracking our Campfire, but that does not seem better than keeping our Campfire around, so a little annoying, but we're still, I think, ahead. We have so much life gain. Counterspell's great. Crack the Nutrient Block. Pestilence is good. Now I just need a Kenku. We'll take 2, but gain 2. Nutrient Block. Crack that right away, just in case we get a tap land or something. Hydra is pretty good. Rally at the Hornburg. That's definitely worth countering. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe I should have just let it go, because I could Pestilence it next turn. But I don't really want to Pestilence until I have a way to keep it alive. I guess I could just I could put the Pestilence on the field. If anything, this will just scare them to not play more creatures, and that's totally fine by me. Unless they kill their own creatures, it is not at risk of dying at any time, unless I choose to make that happen. They play a Mountain, we'll gain 2. Bajuka Bog. Yeah, like as long as all they're doing is attacking for 2 and I can gain 2 every turn, I don't actually care to wipe the board. But they don't want to commit more. We have a Drown in Sorrow. Yeah, we're in a pretty good spot. And now if they do get like a bunch of haste guys, I can wipe the board if I really needed to. I could kill one of these and start gaining more life, but I just don't think that's necessary. Oh, I didn't Campfire. That was definitely a mistake. Not a big deal, but a mistake nonetheless. I could play a Snacker, or I could wipe the board Snacker, and then if they try to kill it, I Hydro. I think I'm fine, though. I'm struggling to see how I lose just doing this. I guess if I keep forgetting Campfire, that's bad. But they play a Tomb Raider, which actually has 2 toughness, so I can wipe these now, and the Tomb Raider can't even attack because no haste now that I got rid of their artifact. They play a Percussionist. I could wipe that too, but then I wipe the Tomb Raider, so I don't want to do that yet. Hard Evidence. Let's just wipe for 1. They get a Galvanic Blast for 2 damage. We'll play Hard Evidence. Alright, they concede. Yeah, alright. I think I'm learning something about this style of deck is that, like, against Rally, you can just throw a Pestilence on the board, and assuming you're not already, like, close to dead, it might just win you the game. Because, like, they can't do anything else. They can't add more creatures. Or if they add a 2 toughness creature, it actually allows us to kill all the 1 toughness things. And there's no way they can get rid of it unless they want to kill all their own guys. Yeah, I don't know. That was pretty good. Let's do that again. This one does not have enough lands. This one does not have enough lands. I guess this is fine. It's not very good. Pestilence and Troll? Or maybe I just get rid of Nutrient Block, because then I have Brainstorm Troll. Plus I need the land drops pretty badly. Yeah, I don't know. This one does not feel great. They play an Epicure. We get back our block. They go with the Ren's Resolve for a Tomb Raider and a Galvanic Blast. I mean, not the worst. We get a Campfire. I'm not going to run that out when I can't use it yet, so I'll just do a Nutrient Block. Maybe I should have just cycled the Troll. Yeah, actually I should have, because now I can't hold up Counterspell next turn, unless I get just like an untapped land. It's a mistake. And they cast in the Fire of the Bridge. Of course. That's why I didn't play that on turn 1. We get an Aquifer. They lost the Galvanic Blast, though, for that. Now, I could Campfire, but I can't use it yet, so I might as well just cycle the Troll. I could Brainstorm first, and then cycle this upkeep, but again, I want to hold up Counterspell next turn. They have a Bushwhacker. That's pretty bad for us. We go to 8 here. Oh, they have another Bushwhacker. Why not? We go to 3. Yeah. No Drown in Sorrow. I mean, Hard Evidence blocks, and then I can't fire, and I don't die, maybe. That's the best we got. Blood Token away a mountain. They lose their artifact to do that, but they have a Relic, so that doesn't matter. Relic doesn't kill us, though. They might crack Relic just to try to look for a Lightning Bolt, unless they just have it. No, they crack the Relic. Play a mountain. What, cast in the fire? Can't fire? Yeah, of course. I can't gain life, which means I'm dead unless we get... Well, I have a Nutrient Block, actually. Nutrient Block is Counterspell. Land is good. I guess we're not dead yet. Okay, let's pass. I just need to survive, and then... Well, if they have a Bolt, I'm going to die here. I have to correct this clue, I think. Snacker plus Hydro gives me blockers, allows me to survive at 1. That means I might as well Brainstorm. No, I might as well Brainstorm after the Snacker's dead and comes back. But I have to use this on a creature, which means I can't counter a spell, so I'm dead to anything, pretty much. Rally at the Hornburg. Yeah, so I can counter this, and then I still just die to whatever they have, unless they somehow don't attack. Brainstorm. We have all the answers on top, but it doesn't matter, because we take 2 and we die. Alright, this hand has some lands, which is decent. We do have Brainstorm plus Shuffle. We're against Lindoso, who looks like it's back on Boros Synth. We got a Campfire... Or maybe some sort of gate, Basilisk Gate deck. Boros Basilisk Gate? I don't know. I'm just going to play some tap lands here. Campfire. That's what we got. They have an Outlaw Medic and a Cliff Gate. Cast down. I think I want a Seething Landscape so that if I don't want to counter or cast down, then I can just Brainstorm and Landscape away. I'll just attack for 1. That's totally fine. Skyfisher. I can just cast that down. They do get to pick up their Lembas, but that's fine. Or their Ancient Den. Okay. For mana. Then another Skyfisher, which will pick up a Lembas. That one I guess I'll counter. Activate Campfire. Bajuka Bog could be helpful later. Synth. I did think maybe I should save a counterspell for that, but Journey to Nowhere is totally fine. I have no creatures to exile. So here, I think I'll just cast down the Skyfisher. I don't need to Brainstorm anytime soon. I mean, I can do it, next turn or whatever, but the later we wait, the more chance I'll have to bring back a Snacker or something. They will Glinthawk the Synth. Yeah, looking for a land, I assume, but they hit a Lightning Bolt. Pretty good for us. Wasting all the card draw they're getting there. We do get a Swamp now. Probably a good time to Brainstorm, try to find something else to do. We can just draw a million with Lorians. That's not too bad. I don't think this is a deck where Bajuka Bog is likely to matter, so I might just play that. And yeah, so let's just put back Swamps with no plans to shuffle, because I'm just going to cast some Lorians. So I'd play a Nutrient Block and pass. I could Fanatical Offering, block to draw a bunch, but I think we'll probably save that. They Synth and finally find a land, a Heap Gate. Swing for 3. I'm just going to pass. They're going to use Heap Gate to start getting some mana, I see. Well, we'll play a Swamp, and we're just going to cast a Lorien Revealed. They're going to Heap Gate. We'll pass. They find a Great Furnace. They're going to pump Medic now. That's fine. We'll activate Campfire, so we'll go down to 17, still pretty healthy. And I think I'm just going to cast another Lorien. Play a Swamp, play Nutrient Block, pass, we'll activate Campfire, and then I can start like Pestilencing if I want. Pump the Medic, so we'll go to 12 here. So Pestilence is 4, 3 damage to kill everything. I want to have a Snacker that I can get back with a Fanatical Offering, like so I can keep Pestilence alive on their turn, which I don't quite have. So I think I play Snacker and play Troll, maybe? They'd probably just bolt the Snacker so I can't block with it, so I might want to have a Troll so I can do that. Or I could just play a Mistwall Bridge so I have as much mana as possible next turn. I can take another hit, get this back. Yeah, I think we just play the tap land and pass here. They have a Journey to Nowhere, so I'm going to sacrifice our Snacker now. So they have to target one of their own creatures with the Journey, which will be the Glint Hawk. They have a Thraben Inspector, and they're going to pump the Medic. So I could bring back the Snacker now, but I'm going to Pestilence. So I don't think there's a reason to do that. Let's just take 5. Now Pestilence, and just pass to their turn. I could die to some bolts, to be honest, because I have taken a lot of damage here, which would be unfortunate. You try to pump the Medic. We're going to Pestilence to wipe the Medic here. They draw a card, and they could kill the Pestilence if they can like keep us from getting the Snacker back with a Thraben Charm or something, or just kill it again with a bolt. So we didn't have quite enough mana to do it all, but we'll do our best. Nutrient Block, try to get back the Snacker here. No, they just have the double bolt in response. Well, what are you gonna do? Next we get a Null, maybe, Hydroblast, Duress, Spellbomb. We didn't see any Sacred Cats or anything. I feel like this is just Boros Synth with gates, so I don't think we have to care about graveyards. Maybe we don't need a Null, because Hydroblast already hits Synth and also more. Definitely a bit unfortunate. We took a lot more damage than I was hoping in the early turns, so maybe we should have done something about that. Maybe I shouldn't have tapped out at that end step, but then we would have lost the Pestilence, which might have been okay because we had wiped their board. I don't know. Play Inspector, play Nutrient Block. There's a Relic, Cliffgate. Swing with the Inspector. I'll cycle Lorien for an island. We get a Campfire, so let's get that going again, I guess. I will counter a Lembas, try to keep any artifacts that they want to bounce off the field. They play Plains. Swing for 1, play a Glint Hawk, pick up the Clue, that's interesting. Another counter spell, which are good. I kind of want a Fanatical Offering to hit a land drop, but then I don't have counter spell up, so I think I'm going to pass on that. Swing for 3, Glint Hawk. Maybe I should have brought in Drown in Sorrow for these guys, but yeah, I guess I'll just try to counter it. Basilisk Gate. Without their Synth or whatever, though, they're not doing a ton here. Again, Brainstorm, but then I don't have counter spell, which they pass with 3 mana, so maybe that doesn't matter, but I think I would like to have it in case they find a Synth or something. Or a Guardian of the Guild Pact. Yeah, definitely want to counter that. Especially because we didn't bring in Relic of Progenitus. I feel like them casting it directly into a counterspell means they might have another one or something. Kenku. Kenku could make a blocker that can block Guardian, although they could Journey it. I think now that we don't have the counterspells, if I sack the block, though, I don't have the Kenku ability. Let's just Brainstorm. There we go, some lands. So I'm not going to shuffle. Just put these back. Play a bridge. I should have put them back in the other order. Oops. Hard Evidence as a blocker. Although I guess they can pump this, but that's fine if they want to spend their mana doing that. Swing with both. We'll block the Inspector. They have a Skyfisher. Pick up Inspector probably. Yup. We'll Campfire. Yeah, so I should have swapped the order of these because then I could play Kenku and I would have my Swamp. And I already had a Fanatical Offering, so I didn't need to do this. Now I have to Offering if I want to hit my land drop. So that was bad. And then I won't have up Fanatical for the Kenku thing, which they're probably going to try to target with a Journey or something. So maybe I should just wait a turn. I can crack a Clue here. We know we hit our land drop. Yeah, let's just do that. Play the Swamp. Should have done it in the other order, but now hopefully this will be fine. They're going to pump the Glint Hawk. Going to block here. Activate Campfire to gain 2. And then I'm going to Offering the Crab, which is a decent blocker, but I'd just like to find some other stuff. Let's Kenku the Nutrient Block. Hope they don't have a Journey to Nowhere. If they do, I can Fanatical Offering it, but still not great. They crack a Clue. There's an Inspector. Great Furnace. Pump the Glint Hawk. Still gonna swing. So I can eat an Inspector and take 4, or I can just take 1 by blocking here. That's fair, not throwing away the Skyfisher. But yeah, I'll take 1. You get rid of that Offering in the grave. Campfire. No Journey is nice. Another Nutrient Block. I think we're gonna just Lorien. Hope for no Pyro, I guess. Hydro is really nice. Crack a clue. They pumped the Skyfisher. Same swing as before. They've been holding a couple cards in hand, so I expect them to have like a bunch of burn. So I'd really rather they just don't burn me out. So I'm going to continue blocking the big guy rather than getting the value of eating one of these. Campfire. Let's brainstorm. We get a Pestilence. Snacker is good. Land drop's good. So I'm just going to put back 2 offerings because I can just draw into them if I really need. Snacker. Snacker's medium because it's probably just going to die to this relic, but still a blocker for the flyers or trade with the inspector or something. And force him to crack the relic. Also not nothing. Pump the Skyfisher. Swing with the team. I'll block here, here, here. And do I want to sacrifice a Kenku to the Fanatical Offering? Probably. Or the Snacker, I guess it doesn't matter. Oh, why didn't I block these the other way? That was stupid. I meant to block the Snacker on the Inspector so it would die. Oops. Whatever. We'll draw 2 here. So they should be down an Inspector, and they are not. They're going to crack the Relic. I haven't drawn my 3rd card for the turn. I don't believe, so I can get my Snacker back actually if I don't want to use the Campfire. We're at 12. I don't think I should die this turn, although I do want to use Campfire, and I want to hold up Pyroblast, Hydroblast, but I think getting my Snacker back might be more important. So let's sack a map here. More Hydros, which are not incredible in this matchup. They're still good, but okay, they're just going to bolt the Snacker again. That's still fine. We get rid of a bolt by making them do that, so we actually gained 3 instead of just the 2 from the Campfire. Duress. And then I could Pestilence, and then I could wipe their board if I want. Yeah, let's do that. That's what I thought. They're just sandbagging a bunch of burn, which is why we have all the Hydroblasts. But that means I cannot do the Pestilence thing, I don't think. I might just cast Pestilence, but I need to hold all these Hydroblasts. So here's a Galvanic gone, I guess. Pestilence will play and pass the turn. They only have 2 red mana, so that's good to know. Pump an Inspector here. So I'm going to Campfire. Block here, I take 4. I have Hydroblasts for these Galvanics and such. We have an Inspector. They're going to pass. We're not going to use anything. Land drop. Activate Campfire. Just pass the turn. If they go to Pump, then we will deal 2 damage to everything. They're going to crack a clue. Play a Heap Gate, so they could have 3 red now. They have a Lembus. That's fine. They're going to go to Pump. So I'm going to sack a Nutrient Block to gain some life to help us not die here. Then I'm going to Pestilence twice. Then we're going to Offering, Map Token, and start attacking. Play a Snacker. Probably should address them first, but whatever. Just in case they want to like blast this, but they're not going to want to do that, I don't think. And they concede. All right. Got that one. Took a little while. Let's try again. Oh, maybe I should bring in an Extract or Drown. We were talking about that for like Defile, Cast Down, Drown and Sorrow over these. I think that might be worth it actually. Having an Extract for the Guardian. Ugh, maybe I even want 2. Kenku was good. Hard Evidence was decent. Hydroblast was good in the end. Pestilence is probably not as necessary. I don't really know. I don't know if that all submitted at the end there, but I mean, we have Hydroblasts, which are okay. We have Counterspell. We don't have much card draw or lands, but I think we'll give it a try. They mulligan to 6. Always start on an Aquifer and not a Mistvault Bridge so it doesn't get exiled if you can. They play an Inspector. And now we're going to hold up Hydroblast, so if they have like a... I mean, they might just be playing Dust to Dust, but then they'd have to exile their own clue, so that's fine. But if they have like a Cast in the Fire, I have a Hydro for it. Or if they have a Synth, I also have a Hydro for it, so... Or they have a Skyfisher, and I can't do anything about that. Pick up Inspector, replay it, pass. Give me a land, please. Okay, we got the land, so I could Campfire. I think I just want a Hard Evidence, though, have a blocker, still have Hydro up. Although Hydro is not amazing if we're not seeing Synths. Like, not amazing early. They Limbus into a Heap Gate. Swing for 2. More lands would be great. Brainstorm. Probably need to do that to try to hit a land drop. We do get there. Seething Landscape. I could Duress. I probably don't need this many Hydroblasts. To be honest, I think I might get rid of 2. Landscape. So I could just Campfire and hold up Counterspell. I could Duress, hold up Hydro or Fanatical. Probably going to start pumping at some point. Let's just go for the Duress. See what we're working with. Synth and Red Blast. So yeah, I'll just take the... If I take the Synth, it's pretty obvious that I probably have a Hydro, but I've been holding it up this entire time anyway. It's already pretty obvious. I think I'd rather take the Red Blast and then Campfire, and we'll shuffle in the upkeep maybe. Because if I don't use the Hydro, I'll just Campfire. They're going to crack a clue. They are going to pump, and then Glint Hawk, back a Limbus. So yeah, they've been playing around the Hydroblast the entire time, which is fair. Block here. Campfire. And I didn't shuffle, so I drew my Hydroblast back again. That was not quite what we wanted. Let's Play Snacker and pass. Pump the Glinthawk, Lembas. So we're going to shuffle this time. Block here. Campfire. Offering. I guess we just got to do that on the clue to get this guy back. We could duress, but I'd rather have a counterspell or offering, I think. Just pass. Well, we ended up taking a lot of our cast downs out, assuming that did go through, and so now we're having trouble killing just some guys. I guess I need Kenku pretty badly, don't I? Taking 7 here. Yep. They have a relic. I don't think I care about that. Inspector. I think I have to draw and just hope for like a Drown in Sorrow or something rather than use Campfire. There's the Drown in Sorrow. Although now I don't have a draw to get Snacker back, so then we just take a hit from Skyfisher, which could be a lot. I can't map to keep Snacker alive. I mean, we got to drown for sure. So I guess we might as well attack, drown, get rid of a bridge. I think we need to have Counterspell up, but also use Campfire here. They finally go for a Synth. I'll Hydroblast it, although now they might be baiting so they can resolve something that I can't actually Counterspell. Guardian? Yep, exactly. Kenku would block Guardian, and so would... well, Extract a Confession would work too. We're just gonna shuffle this to get something out of that. I guess Extract would not kill the Guardian over killing the Skyfisher, so that would not work. We do get the Kenku though. Okay, so hopefully I can duress away any journey they might have. Lembas, okay, we'll take that. Kenku, a Mistvault Bridge as a blocker, and pass. Because this is colorless, even though it looks blue-black. It's very colorless. Play a Lembas, scry to the top. Of course they got Journey. I mean, I can counter it, thankfully, but that means they're going to get to attack in for 4 that I can't stop, and I can't Campfire. But I literally looked at their hand so they wouldn't get that card, and then they got the exact card. I can't block. Go to 3, see if we get anything helpful. No, we get a land. And now if I block, if they pump this, I have to block here, and then I can't block this one, or vice versa. Let's map, Counterspell. Counterspell doesn't even do enough, frankly. I need removal of some variety. They go straight to attacks. I don't know if that was intentional. I think it was an accident. That does help. We will Hydro that, since it's what we got. I should have Campfired on my turn, because now we can just die to a Lightning Bolt or whatever. We'll do that in response to a clue. See if we do die. No, not yet. Gate. Alright, give me something good. Lorien revealed into, I don't know, everything that I could ever want. It was a land. Another Kenku wouldn't be bad either. Relic. Crack the Relic. Inspector. Pump the Guardian. Attack here. So I block here. I could block the Skyfisher, but then we go to 1. Then I can Campfire to 3. We die to a Bolt, but honestly I feel like getting rid of one of these creatures is too important, because if I don't and I just block here, I take 2, and then I'm in this predicament every turn. So I think I should do this, to be honest. It's pretty risky, but decent reward. We get a Lorien. Well, that's pretty good. We get a Snacker to block, which can also block Guardian. Alright. I'm just going to hope we don't die to a Galvanic or a Bolt, which is very likely possibility, but I think we made the right block, honestly. They crack a clue, looking for the burn spell, and they have it. Tough match. Alright, last round here. We have Mistvault, and then Lorien. Some card draw. We'll give it a try. We draw a Mistvault Bridge. We'll just play that, cycle our Lorien. Are we against more Boros? Faithless Looting. Okay, so it's probably Boros Bully or even the Tireless Tribe Boros deck. Sneaky Snacker. Discarding a Garrison is interesting. It's a lot of value to lose. Cycle Lorien for an island. I'm gonna play a Campfire. Gaining life could be pretty relevant if it is Tribe. They're trying to one-shot us. Every 4 life we gain is an extra card they have to discard. But we also get to hold up Counterspell here. I could Counterspell the Faithless, because then they can't get back the Snacker, unless they have it again later, or like have another one. But I think we'll let it go this time. Discard 2 planes, play a Garrison. We'll activate Campfire. Hard Evidence. And I'll just pass. Want to hit our land drops, but I don't want to, like, if they are playing Tribe, I don't want to let that resolve, so I have a counterspell for it. Spirit Mascot. Another thing I don't really want to resolve, but I think I'll let it go. I have a chump blocker for it. I think it's fine. Snacker's coming in. They play a Thrilling Discovery. That's so much card draw, because they could discard, like, Snackers and stuff. I guess we gotta counter this. I don't know. Everything seems scary. We draw a Swamp, which is nice. We'll just pass. Flashback Eluding so they can get their Mascot to grow, discard Eidolon, and Escape Tunnel. Escape Tunnel means it's definitely the tribe deck. Swing, I'll block and sack here. Take 2, activate Campfire, counterspell. Let's play Snacker and pass. Flashback looting again. Discards Snacker and Lightning Bolt. I have a Bojuka Bog and 2 Spell Bombs I would love to find at some point. I think we'll block the Snacker, hoping to find that Graveyard Hate. They've already drawn enough cards that they can't come back this time. Another Mascot with an Eidolon coming back, triggering this. I guess we counter this. Campfire. This gets a counter. I haven't seen any cast downs yet, so I should find one of those at some point. Let's Offering our map, get back our Snacker, get a counter spell, plus Brainstorm Seething, Landscape's good. There's the Tribe. Probably worth countering just because it also gives a lot of utility, or a lot of ability to the Mascot, because they can discard Eidolon, bring it back, etc. I'm not super worried about dying to the combo, because I can also like Pestilence this over and over and over, but yeah, I think the utility with the Mascot's pretty strong. They bring back both Snackers, right, because we were never able to get rid of those. Triggers the Mascot. Grows a bunch. This deck seems pretty decent, to be honest. I'll take 7. Let's Brainstorm. Still no cast downs. If I could find cast down plus Pestilence these for 1, that'd be fine. I think I put back Nutrient Block, Fanatical. It's hard to get rid of card draw here, but I kind of want the land. I'm going to shuffle and then Brainstorm. Yeah, we haven't seen a Kenku either, which could be a good blocker. Another Pestilence. I probably play Pestilence so I can block here, ping these down. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. But I guess if they just have like a bolt for the Snacker, then I'm taking a ton from the Mascot unless I can Brainstorm into a cast down. Flashback, Pursue the Past. Eidolon comes back, grows the Mascot, discards it again. We will block here, wipe the board, mostly. They already drew, so the Snackers aren't coming back. If they weren't going to stop this, maybe they were looking for a bolt to get this out of the way, but makes it so their Snackers don't come back this turn, which is pretty good for us. Escape Tunnel. I want to activate Campfire, so we'll just Brainstorm on the end step. We get the Snacker back too. More Snackers. I can't shuffle these. Play a Snacker. Play a Bridge. I know there's a land on top, so I guess I might as well map just to draw a card here. I don't think I want to attack, because if I do and then they find a bolt for this, I'll just take way too much damage. It's not really what the game's about anyway. Crack their Escape Tunnel. Spirit Mascot. Eidolon comes back. Swing with this guy. We'll just chump block. Crack our Clue. We get a cast down. Finally. Campfire. Defile, which currently does -4, so that can kill this Mascot. So I can kill them both. So let's cast this down, make sure that it dies. I should have tapped the blue probably, but yeah, because they have a Lauren's Escape. So I can't kill it then. If this was a Go for the Throat, it would be able to kill this right now. So we'll pass. They have the kill spell for the Snacker. I'll try to Defile this Mascot. They have a Lauren's Escape for that, so I'll Pestilence to kill it. But of course that deals us some damage. Campfire is going to put us to 14. They fling it at us for 2. Yeah, so we can go up by 2, but if they have a way to make 2 cards leave their graveyard, we're going to die to this Mascot. Or if they just have a bolt, we'll take 10. Tireless Tribe. Sneaky Snacker. Amazing. Well, I'll gain 2. I'll play a Snacker. If they have no interaction or unblockable or something, I can block here. And if they try to inside out this or whatever, I can Pestilence it. They cast an Eidolon, which makes it so I can't block with the Snacker. Target creature can't block this turn. Okay, well, I don't think they read that properly. Target creature can't block, not can't be blocked. So they're going to probably be a bit confused by that, but that was good for us, I guess. Got to play to your outs. But now we need something, and we don't have something. So we're dead anyway. That was frustrating. We only saw 1 cast down out of our 4 plus Go for the Throat. Fairy Macabre, we get Extract a Confession and Negate, I guess. Or maybe just Hydroblasts. We didn't see a Spell Bomb. We didn't see a Bojuka Bog. We didn't see a Kenku Artificer, which could block. We had like 10 cards we were looking for that we could not find. That's really frustrating. I feel like Campfire doesn't do enough. Probably don't need this many Hydroblasts. 1 land is not going to cut it. This one's acceptable. I think we put back 1 Lorien. We can draw it again later. Here, I'll just play a Snacker, which I can Fanatical next turn to draw back. Play another Crag. Swing for 2. Cycle Lorien for an island. Just going to sacrifice this. Draw 2. Comes right back. Pass the turn. They have a Spirit Mascot, and waited to play until they have a Lauren's Escape, maybe. Let's map onto our Snacker. Fanatical we'll definitely leave on top. We're gonna swing. Snacker, and we'll play a bridge. They swing? Okay, I was like, I'll certainly block, although maybe they have an instant speed way to do something there. Swing for 5. I could Fanatical Offering the Snacker, and it comes right back, but they could have a... what's it called? Thraben Charm. So I think I'm just going to play a Nutrient Block and pass. And then if I want, on their turn, I could Fanatical Offering this and then sack the Nutrient Block to draw 3, and it comes right back. Faithless Looting. Discards a Snacker and an Escape Tunnel. Pursue the Past. Discarding a Mascot. Swing for 2. I think I'm just going to sack the block here. I don't want to take the chance they have a Thraben Charm. Actually, you know what I could do? I could go for the Throat on this. No, that doesn't work. I could go for the Throat on this, and then if they have a Lauren's Escape, they can't have a Thraben Charm, but then I don't have the mana to Fanatical Offering a Snacker and crack the Nutrient Block. So I'm just going to crack the Nutrient Block, because I don't want to lose one of these, because I actually have a pretty fast clock on them. Also, we got a Fairy Macabre. I could still go for the Throat if I want them to use a Lauren's Escape. I think it's fine right now, though. Let's just attack for 5. I think we'll Duress. See what they got going on. 2 Lauren's Escape and a Thrilling Discovery. Well, we'll take the Thrilling Discovery. They can protect this 2/2 all they want. I think I just want to play a Fairy Macabre then as another attacker, because then we have 7 in the air. I'm actually going to map onto this Snacker. Lorien revealed, so it's 8 in the air, and then I can kill him with a Pestilence next turn, unless they have a bolt or something. But, well, they drew a Pursue the Past. Lucky them. Gets back Snacker, discarding the Sejuri Step. Mascot gets a counter. Play their Mountain. Flashback Faithless Looting. Discard Eidolon and Escape Tunnel. We'll take 4. I guess if I get an untapped black land, or any land, I knew I was drawing a Lorien, so I don't know what I was saying. Then I could have Pestilence them, because I can hit for 8. What are the chances they can deal us an additional 8 next turn? I think very low. I think we're just going to Lorien all the removal spells now. I think we're going to attack with everything. I think leaving back even a couple damage is pretty detrimental to our ability to win, and I just don't see them being able to deal us 8 additional damage unless, I mean, they could. Like, they could just have drawn 2 Lightning Bolts and, you know, Pursue the Past, getting back Eidolon. I guess that's the way they win. If they got that, you know, good for them. They're going to start with Pursue the Past for 2 additional counters. Play a Mountain. Pursue the Past again for another counter. See, this is part of why I wanted to hit them for everything, is they go up to 7 here, or they went up to 7, so, like, it's pretty relevant to have damage on them. Alright, I'm pretty sure we just cast down, or go for the Throat the Snacker. They try to Lauren's Escape it, and I cast it down, and we win. Alright, we got there. They might have drawn a little poorly, but we also had a pretty nice, fast start, although the life gain that they had was pretty relevant. They gained like 8 or 10 life, and was quite a pain. Alright, last game here, they mulligan to 6. We have 2 nice removal spells and land drops, so we're going to keep it. Mulligan to 5. 4. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. I'm just kidding. 4 is already plenty tough to win with. But they are a combo deck, so if they get the right 4, they certainly could. I mean, they could Tireless Tribe on turn 1 into Inside Out on turn 2. I guess without the cards, actually the mulligan is pretty brutal, isn't it? Because they don't have the cards to actually do that. Well, fair enough. They do have Tribe, so I probably just make them sack it. I could cast it down, but they could have a Lauren's Escape, and I would like it dead, because it could get them some value from discarding an Eidolon, and it comes back when they do some stuff, you know. Another Tribe. Well, I could just play Snacker, or I could try to cast this down in their upkeep. I think I'll play Snacker. We shouldn't be dead, because they would need Unblockable, Inside Out, and also enough cards in hand. But with Eidolons, it doesn't have to be exactly 5, because they can like discard it first, bring it back with the Inside Out, etc. Pursue the Past, discarding an Eidolon. No land drop though, so we're going to cast this down and we should be okay. Not have to sweat. Play a Nutrient Block, and we have a Kenku, so that could be our Indestructible attacker and blocker. So I will cycle this Lorien, because we have stuff to do with our mana. They're going to play Thrilling Discovery. So they have a really good engine here to like get out of a mulligan. It just might take them a while to get there. They play a Mountain. I think we'll just get a tap land here. Yeah, if we got untapped, I could Snacker as well, but Kenku's going to be most damage we can deal here. Plus gets the block set up for Pestilence. Swing for 5. They pursue the past, and they pursue the past again. We get a cast down, so we're just going to play Snacker, swing, hold up, cast down, flashback, pursue the past. Look at that. They're up to 7 cards from the mulligan to 4. Now they've done basically nothing else, but still. Have gained a fair amount of life off of those cards. Discard an Eidolon. Counterspell's pretty good. If I didn't draw that, I might just like play the Pestilence to have it around, but I obviously want to hold up a counterspell. Don't think I care about eluding though. They don't even have Snackers to get back. Discards 2 more Eidolons, so that's 4 in the graveyard. Almost too many. They're going to pursue the past, which they can do because they're going to have to discard a bunch at the end step, which will be a bunch of Eidolons, but still. There's a Tireless Tribe, which I think I can just cast down. So I don't need to counterspell. Lorien revealed. I think it's probably better to just hold up counterspell. So I'm just going to cycle this for the mana. Because if we do counterspell, and then I might want a Pestilence for like a couple damage or whatever. But we have 8 damage on them through a counterspell. They have to gain at least 5 life or blockers or something. Seems tough. They can definitely flash that back. Alright, and we win the match. We got a 3-2 with the deck, which is not bad, although 2 of our wins were off of our opponent's mulliganing to 4, so that's not necessarily a great sign. The deck felt clunky, I will say. There were some matches where Pestilence just felt like kind of unnecessary to our game plan. With, we just had a bunch of good removal and stuff like that, and it wasn't really necessary as like a win con, but there were some matches where Pestilence was really good. I don't know, it felt like something was missing in the deck. Maybe that thing is a little more card draw with like Cryogen Relics and removal with like Abjure. I think that could be an interesting package to try out in the deck. The offerings definitely didn't have quite enough targets, and obviously I increased the number of offerings by 1 and also decreased some of the things to sacrifice, so that's partially on me. But I will say, as far as basic swamps that we were talking about, the only reasons we need them is Seething Landscape, which we brought in, and Troll of Khazad-dûm. So we could maybe replace 2 or 3 of these with Vaults of Whispers, just so we have more things for Fanatical Offering. It's something else we'll be susceptible to Artifact Hate with, but we don't have so many Artifact lands that it's not that big of a deal. And I think it could just make the offerings a little bit smoother. I do think Cryogen and Abjure could be an interesting package. I'm not saying that's the only thing you could do, though. It did feel like not having any way to discard the Snacker was a little awkward. Obviously, we have all the ways to bring it back once it's been cast, but there were some times where it felt like we couldn't get them out quick enough. So maybe we would want some Abandoned Attachments or something like that to discard them, just as an idea. The Loriens were fantastic. Obviously, I think they're great in here. Troll really didn't come up that much. I think there was one time we had it and could cast it, and it still didn't feel like the best thing to do. That doesn't mean we shouldn't play it, just maybe small sample size. The Defile I was pretty unimpressed with, to be honest. The only matchup there where we would have wanted it, I think, over a Go for the Throat was Red Rally, and even then single target removal isn't the best, and otherwise Go for the Throat felt like it was quite a bit better. Campfires were good. Spell Bombs I wish we saw a little bit more in the relevant matchups. Having counterspells in a deck like this is fantastic. I will say I really liked having the landscapes with the Brainstorms. The thing about these is you're almost always cycling these like right away in the beginning of the game, or not wanting to cycle them at all. Sometimes you're at 4 lands or something and you have a Brainstorm and you want to cycle them, but these is the only ways to shuffle I feel like is pretty rough, whereas I liked the landscapes quite a bit here. They didn't feel too hindering either, so I definitely think that's a good way to go. You might not need 3 Kenkus. Maybe you could just do a couple of these. I will say the nutrient blocks go with the Kenku really nicely, but otherwise they felt a little weak. The life gain was relevant against some of the more aggressive decks, but if these were Ichor Wellsprings or, again, Cryogen Relics or something, we would have just been drawing a little bit more cards throughout the game. So I don't know. They weren't terrible by any means, but it just felt like they weren't at their peak here, seeing as we don't have like a Cauldron Familiar, and we're using them for the Indestructible instead of the food. But they are quite versatile. They draw us cards, can be sacrificed, they gain us life, and they can be targeted by the Kenku. So, again, they weren't terrible by any means. The Snackers were good, and yeah, I don't have much to say about them. The sideboard felt fine. I don't think I have any comments on that. Yeah, I don't know. The deck wasn't bad by any means, but it felt slow and a little clunky. It feels like it definitely needs a little bit of work. All of the card draw is really good, and I like offering. Lorien was great. But to be honest, maybe we just need some like Ponders or something like that, some more cantrips to set up early turns, find exactly what we need. Maybe Preordain would be better there. I don't know exactly. Wish I could offer a little bit more insight, but overall I think the deck was decent. Definitely fun to play. Thanks again, Shingsa, for the deck donation. If you want to see me play your deck, go ahead and check the Metafy link down below. You can do a deck donation of your own. Thanks so much to my monthly supporters. If you want to support me on a monthly basis, you can do so on Metafy, or you can join YouTube memberships where you can get access to videos early. Thanks to my current $10 and up supporters like Howard Granger, JDNPX, Halcaz, Cody Cowell, Sty, DJ Vinyl, In Buns We Bust, and Brotaku BC. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all next time.